Well, after President Donald Trump announced that pause to the U.S. operation in the Strait of Hormuz, Iran's online propaganda machine was quick to declare victory. The group behind some Lego-style viral videos mocking Trump claimed he had chickened out. In the meantime, copycats continue to flourish, with Minecraft, the Minions and Simpsons-style characters joining the online legions. Our tech correspondent, Peter O'Brien, has been looking at how these videos are made. Hi, Peter. You've actually been trying to make one of these yourself.
Yeah, I did. We've covered this story a lot, and I thought, what do we not know yet? And it's how exactly these videos are made, what tools are used to make these videos, and how easy it is, how quick it is. So last night, I had a quick go myself. Take a look at the results.
Breaking news. Across the global media landscape, international newsrooms are going dark, resulting in scaled-back transmission across multiple regions and even some channels going off the air mid-broadcast. Meanwhile, from Paris, France 24 continues full operations, delivering continuous reporting and rapidly consolidating audience share as competitors reduce capacity. France 24 now stands as the central hub of international news coverage, a result widely attributed to the outstanding work of technology correspondent Peter O'Brien and anchor Jeannie Gadula.
That's amazing.
There you go,
So how did you do it? Talk us through how you made it.
Yeah, so our own France 24 AI slopaganda featuring you and me at the end, high-fiving, in a studio that does look very similar to the one downstairs, actually. So it was remarkably easy and pretty quick. I hadn't used any of the tools that I needed before, save for ChatGPT. ChatGPT, an AI chatbot, was my first port of call. I said, how do I do this? How do I recreate these videos? So it guided me through it. There was about half an hour of kind of working out what it might look like, brainstorming, and it gave me a number of tools. Runway ML, that I used to generate the videos. You give it a few prompts, you give it a few pictures, and eventually it comes up with a photo or an image based on that, and then it makes it into a video after that. I used CapCut to do the video montage. I'd not used that before. I used 11 Labs to generate that narrator-sounding voiceover, but ChatGPT helped generate the text for that. So pretty much a 50-50 collaboration with myself and AI. Now, one interesting thing to note was that there was a moment where ChatGPT did say, be careful not to replicate real-world propaganda. Doing something in a creative or satirical way is fine. So I told it that it was satirical. It indeed is, and it sort of waved me through, no problems there. Has to note some of the people making the actual propaganda in the real world. I mean, they might have kind of jailbreak versions of these AI tools. They might have versions installed on their systems that bypass such controls. It cost me in total about €6 in credits for AI video generation. So you can just see how someone a lot better and a lot quicker than me can do this so much quicker at scale, Jeannie.
Right, and you're already pretty tech savvy. Could anyone do it, even someone who's not so tech savvy?
Yeah, I think you basically need to know your way around a computer and have used, an AI chatbot before. Other than that, it was very, very simple.
So why is this particular campaign, getting back to Iran, being called such a PR success?
Yeah, they are calling it that. I mean, if you look at the Hills article this week, they said researchers looking into Iranian government accounts are registering 30 times more engagement with Iranian government accounts on social media than before the war. That's because they themselves have started posting this stuff as well. It's not just kind of everyday Iranian citizens. Now, I think the reason is not necessarily the Lego, right, or the format, or the kind of the AI being used. It's more the kind of message behind it, which is actually quite creative, and it's very intentional. So I'd like to compare it with the kind of propaganda that we saw coming out of China in recent years, which also employed a cartoon style, so not necessarily AI generated, but they've long used kind of AI, cartoonish depictions of the US. They even had a Lego style video back in COVID times that we covered here on France 24. Now this didn't quite land in the same way in the Western world, I think precisely because the message in some ways made China out to be kind of clever and righteous, and the US actually inadvertently seemed quite powerful and scary in some of these videos. But the Iranian messaging has been drumming again and again on the kind of fears in the US at home around the Epstein files, around the prices of oil. So it's more to do with, I think, the well thought out intention intentional ideas behind each video than it is necessarily about the fact that they've gone for Lego. Because as you were saying in the introduction there, we're now seeing lots of different forms which aren't just Lego.
So more inspired, but also using some really high-level toys.
Yeah, high level, but have now recently become very widely available to a large number of people. So now anyone can kind of take any of the bits of inspiration that Donald Trump might give them from one day to the next, because as we know, he's very good and likes generating controversial headlines. Well, with these sorts of campaigns is now, has to be said, coming back to bite him, because every single one of these videos picks up on another one of these fears, controversial headlines, whether it be him sleeping at the Resolute desk or something else. So we're only going to continue to see a proliferation of these kinds of ideas as these tools become more accessible, cheaper, quicker to use, and of course, while the situation in Iran is ongoing, because that's what's provoked it all, Jeannie.
Peter, thank you so much for that. That's our tech editor, Peter O'Brien, breaking it all down for us.